Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Easy English Story Lab. Today we will practice English together. But first, let me ask you something. Have you ever thought why English is so weird? Why do we write letters that we don't even pronounce? Why is there a K in knife, an H in honest, and a W in right if we never say them? English looks like it is playing a trick on us. Today's story is about a student who feels exactly the same way. She is trying to learn English, but the letters seem to lie to her. Every new word brings a new surprise. Listen carefully. Pause the video. Repeat after me. Copy the pronunciation, rhythm, and emotion. This is the shadowing technique. Now, let's begin the story. My name is Mia, and I am learning English. I am not a beginner, but I am not very good yet. Every day I try to read, listen, and speak a little. I want to travel one day, watch movies without subtitles, and talk to people from other countries. But there is one big problem. English is weird, very weird. One evening, I sat at my desk with a cup of tea and my English book. I felt motivated. Today, I told myself, I will read perfectly. I opened the book and saw a word, knife. Okay, I said slowly. K, ni, fi. But then I remembered a video I watched. The teacher said naive. I looked at the word again. The letter K was there. I could see it. It was the first letter. But nobody said it. Excuse me, I said to the book. K, are you sleeping? I stared at the word for 10 seconds. Why are you here if you don't work? I asked the letter K. I laughed, but I also felt confused. I wrote the word in my notebook. Knife equals naive. Then I continued reading. The next word was knee. I read it. Knee. But in my listening exercise, the voice said, knee. Again, the K was silent. I put my pen down. This is not normal, I said. At that moment, I imagined the letters as little people. K in knife said, I like to stand here, but I don't like to talk. K in knee said, same. I shook my head. English letters are strange people. The next day at school, I met my friend Lily in the hallway. Lily, I said, I think English letters are lying to us. She laughed. What happened? I showed her my notebook. Look, knife, knee, the K is there, but no sound. Lily nodded. Oh, yes, silent letters. Why are they silent? I asked. Are they shy? We both started laughing. During English class, our teacher, Mr. Brown, wrote a new word on the board. Honest. Who wants to read? He asked. I raised my hand. Honest. Mr. Brown smiled kindly. Good try, Mia, but we say honest. The H is silent. I dropped my pen. Another one? The class laughed. Mr. Brown said, Yes, English has many silent letters. I whispered to Lily, English is hiding sounds from us. After class, I walked home and thought about it. When I arrived, I opened my book again. I wanted to fight the weird English. The next word was right. I read it slowly. W, right. But I knew the sound was rate. No W. I looked at the word like it was my enemy. W, I said, why are you here? You are not doing anything. In my imagination, W answered, I am decoration. I laughed loudly in my room. Then my little brother came in. Why are you laughing alone? Because English is crazy, I said. Look at this word, hour. He read it. Hour. No, I said, it's hour. H is silent. He opened his eyes wide. So letters are lazy? Yes, I said, very lazy. That night, I made a special page in my notebook. I wrote the title, English Letters That Don't Work under it. I wrote, Knife Knee Honest Right Hour. I looked at the list and sighed. How can I trust English? The next day, I asked Mr. Brown, Teacher, why does English have silent letters? He thought for a moment. Because English is old. Words come from many languages. Some letters stayed, but sounds changed. So, history is the problem? I asked. He smiled. Yes, English is like a museum of old sounds. I like that idea. A museum. Maybe the letters were not lying. Maybe they were old. That evening, I walked home slowly, thinking. The sky was orange and people were talking around me. I whispered English words to myself. Knife, knee, honest, right. Maybe English was not trying to trick me. Maybe it just had many stories. At home, I opened my book again. This time, I saw the word knock. I didn't even try to say the K. Okay, K, I said. You can sit quietly. I felt calmer. English was still weird, but it was also interesting. Every strange word felt like a secret. Later, I looked in the mirror and said, Mia, you can do this, even if English is weird. I smiled, because now, instead of feeling angry, I felt curious. And curiosity is stronger than confusion. The next morning, I woke up with one thought in my head. I will not lose to English. I sat at my desk before school and opened my notebook. On the page, I saw my title again, English Letters That Don't Work. I added a small smiley face next to it. Okay, I said quietly to myself. Today, I will find more lazy letters. I felt like a detective going to work. At school, Mr. Brown gave us a short reading exercise. I felt ready. I sat straight, held my pencil, and started reading carefully. Then I saw the word island. I stopped. Is land? But in my listening practice, I heard island. The letter S was in the middle of the word, but nobody said it. I raised my hand. Teacher, why is there an S in island if we don't say it? Mr. Brown smiled. Good question, Mia. That S is silent. English spelling comes from history. I did not understand everything, but I wrote one thing in my mind. English loves history. Students suffer. I looked at Lily. Another one, I whispered. Lily said, the S is just there to look cool. We both tried not to laugh. After class, I felt different. I was not just a student anymore. I was someone who was solving the mystery of English. Every strange word was a new clue. At home, I opened a video to practice pronunciation. The teacher on the screen said, let's read this word, talk. I read it clearly. Talk. But the teacher said, talk. No L sound. I closed my eyes. Elle, what are you doing here? In my imagination, Elle said, I like to be silent sometimes. I laughed again. English was strange, but now it was also funny. Then I found another word. Walk. Same problem. Then, half. The letter L was there again, but no sound. I wrote in my notebook, Island talk walk half under the list. I wrote, silent letters are everywhere. I underlined the sentence 2 times. In the evening, I was sitting with my family at dinner. My mother asked, how is English today? I said, English is a big joke. My father laughed. Why? I said, letters are not honest. They stay in words but don't speak. My little brother said, maybe they are shy. I smiled. Yes, very shy letters, too shy to work. Later that night, I had a funny dream. I was in a big classroom and all the English letters were there. A, B, C, D, everyone. But K, W, H, S, and L were sitting in the back, quiet and looking bored. I walked to them and said, why don't you talk? K said, I used to talk a long time ago. W said, me too. H said, I like being quiet. S in island said, I am just decoration. L in talk said, I am resting, I cross my arms. You are making my life difficult. They all looked at me and said together, but you are learning, right? I stopped. Yes, I said slowly. When I woke up, I laughed. Even my dreams were about English. At school the next day, I felt different. Before, I felt angry when I saw a strange word. Now, I felt excited. What secret do you have? I asked each word in my book. In class, Mr. Brown wrote another word, night. I didn't even try to say the K or the GH. I said, Nate. Mr. Brown clapped. Very good, Mia. I felt proud, like I had won a small battle. After school, Lily and I walked home together. English is still weird, she said. Yes, I said, but now it is like a game. A game? Yes, a game where we find silent letters and catch them. Lily smiled. We are English detectives. That night, I opened my notebook again. The page was full of strange words. I looked at all the words and realized something important. At the beginning, I felt confused and angry. Now I felt curious and brave. English was still strange. Letters still didn't speak, words still surprised me. But I was not scared anymore because every weird word was a new story, and I wanted to know all the stories. The next week, something unexpected happened. Mr. Brown came to class with a big smile. He wrote something on the board. English Story Day. We will have a speaking activity, he said. Each of you will tell a short story in English. My heart dropped, speaking in front of everyone in English. I looked at Lily. She looked scared too. This is bad, she whispered. I nodded. My stomach felt heavy. I could read. I could write. But speaking in front of people? That was different. All day I thought about it. What if I say a word wrong? What if silent letters trick me again? What if everyone laughs? That evening, I sat in my room with my notebook. I opened the page with my title, English Letters That Don't Work. I looked at all the strange words I had collected. Knife knee, honest, right hour, island talk, walk, half night. I stared at them. For a moment, I felt the old feeling again. The frustration, the anger, the fear. English is too hard, I whispered. Then I remembered something. The dream, the letters in the classroom. But you are learning, right? I took a deep breath. Maybe the problem was not silent letters. Maybe the problem was that I was afraid. I picked up my pen. What if? I said slowly. I tell a story about English being weird. I smiled. Yes, I would tell them everything. The lazy letters, the silent sounds, the strange words. I practiced in front of the mirror. Hello, my name is Mia, I said. Today I want to talk about why English is strange. I laughed at my own idea, but it felt right. The next day came too fast. My hands were cold. My heart was beating fast. One by one, students went to the front and spoke. Then Mr. Brown said, Mia, your turn. I stood up slowly. My legs felt weak. I walked to the front of the classroom. Everyone was looking at me. I almost forgot how to breathe. Then I saw Lily. She smiled and gave me a small thumbs up. I took a deep breath. Hello, I said. My voice was quiet. My name is Mia, and today I want to talk about weird English. Some students smiled. I continued. In English, letters are sometimes lazy. A few students laughed. There is a word, knife. We see K, but K does nothing. More laughter. There is island. We see S, but S is just decoration. Now everyone was laughing, even Mr. Brown. I felt my fear getting smaller. I told him about honest hour, right night. I made jokes. I used my notebook. I acted like a detective looking for silent letters. And something amazing happened. I was not thinking about mistakes. I was not thinking about fear. I was speaking. English was coming out of my mouth slowly but clearly. At the end, I said, English is weird, but maybe that is why it is interesting. Every word has a story, and we are learning those stories. The classroom was quiet for 1 second. Then everyone clapped. My ears felt warm. My face felt hot. But inside, I felt something new. Pride. Mr. Brown said, "Excellent, Mia." That was confident, clear, and creative. Confident. Nobody had ever used that word for me in English class before. After class, Lily hugged me. "You were amazing," she said. "I forgot you were scared." "I forgot too," I said, laughing. That night, I opened my notebook again. I looked at the words. Before, they were enemies. Now they were friends. They helped me tell a story. They helped me speak. They helped me be brave. I wrote one more sentence at the bottom of the page. English is weird, but I am stronger. I closed the notebook and smiled. I still make mistakes. I still meet strange words. I still see silent letters. But now, when I see a weird word, I don't feel angry. I feel curious because every strange word is a new chance to learn. And every time I speak, even with mistakes, I grow. English is not perfect. I am not perfect, but we are learning together, and that is enough. Now it's your turn. Go back and listen to the story again. Pause after each sentence and repeat out loud. Copy the pronunciation, rhythm, and emotion. This is the shadowing technique, and it will help you speak more naturally and confidently. Don't worry about mistakes. Every time you speak, you improve. If you enjoyed this story, please like the video, subscribe to Easy English's StoryLab, and write a comment about your experience with English. What word do you think is strange? Keep practicing every day. Small steps bring big results. See you in the next story.